now. Yes, sir. So we are now continuing the amazing and adventurous journey of Mr. Albert Clark. Well, the first flight, and now he's. Let me connect with the audience that what we were discussing last time. He was now uh, in a race with his senior trainer. So yes, please continue, sir.
Okay, so after me trying three times
Okay.
to catch up with the ground
Okay.
on the airplane,
Uh-huh.
because we're supposed to be pretending the power's failed, right?
Okay.
So the instructor pulled the power back to idle speed. So, I have no propulsion. So I can't fly against 100-mile-an-hour wind. So he said, let me demonstrate. I said, "Oh, good. I'd like you to see you." So he starts going. He tries the same thing from the same altitude, and he starts flying down toward going backwards too. So he starts adding power in, and we're still going backwards. So
Okay.
finally, he gets over a whole bunch of trees, and there's a clearing in the trees. And he said, "Gee, if I pull the power off now, do you think we can land there?" And I said, yeah, I think you might be able to if you pull the power off just real quick,
Uh-huh.
because so we don't gain any airspeed. And but they'll have to dismantle the airplane or cut the trees down to get the airplane out of here.
Okay.
So I says, let's go home. So
Okay.
I flew back to the main runway again,
Uh-huh.
and to land the airplane, he didn't do the power off. He let me use power this time.
Okay.
But they had a whole bunch of other students standing out there around the runway. And so I came in at a little over 100 miles an hour, and I landed like a helicopter. I mean, straight down, just gradually flew the airplane
Right.
until the wheels were on the ground. And
Uh-huh.
then the other students ran out and grabbed hold of the airplane, on the struts and so forth to weigh it down to where it wouldn't take
Okay.
off.
Okay.
And so I taxied in very slowly with the power on and the students hanging onto the wings to keep it from taking off
Okay.
and not going slow enough that they could walk along holding the airplane down.
Okay.
And so I got it back to its parking space, and I got out of the airplane with everybody still holding the airplane down.
Mm.
And I hooked up the chains to ground stations to where it couldn't go anywhere because it's chained down now, just
Uh-huh.
in case of a storm, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I go around and I put the locks, which are wooden blocks with screws in them that hold the ailerons and everything in position so they can't
Okay.
flap in the wind.
Okay.
And then they said, on the count of three, everybody let go. So 1, 2, 3, and the airplane popped up about 6 inches off the ground,
Oh my
flying all
God.
by itself with nobody in it and the engine not running. Well, it's 100-mile-an-hour wind. The airplane takes off at about 60 miles an hour.
Oh my God.
Matter of fact, its maximum speed is about 120 miles an hour.
And it used to be at that time, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was I graduated
Hmm.
naturally because
Okay.
the instructor thought that was a marvelous job landing the airplane like a
Okay.
helicopter.
A helicopter.
Then I graduate to jet airplanes. I've still got that Saudi Arabian prince as my uh,
Please tell,
classmate because he
please tell our audience and mention the name of the because your dying hard fans actually would love to know more. Yes, please.
well, naturally his last name was Saad because he's part of the Saad family. So
Okay.
he was Muhammad Saad. He had another name, but I don't remember what it was.
Okay.
Anyway, so he's still my classmate and table mates because we're different table now because we're now on the air base instead of at a private airfield. So
Okay.
now we're on the actual military base and we're flying the T-37 jet
Mm-hmm.
airplane, which is not very fast, but it's kind of like sports cars. Two people sit side by side, and
Uh,
it's low enough that you don't need to climb a ladder to get into it.
exactly.
And matter of fact, when you're standing beside it, it's only about shoulder high.
Okay.
So, but it's a jet airplane. It'll fly about 400 miles an hour maximum speed.
Hmm.
or not supposed to. You're supposed to be to keep it below 350 miles an hour is what you're recommended.
Okay.
So anyway, I get in the airplane. Now I'm having the same problem I had with the little T-41. I
Okay.
could not land the airplane. So my instructor takes me up to a different airfield where there's nobody there, and we fly up there, and he lands the airplane for me. And our what we're going to do is sit there and watch the other airplanes come in for touch and go landings
Hmm.
at that other airfield that's about 50 miles away from the base. And then we get a call saying, "Whoop, there's a storm coming in, so you're not going to have any visitors today. So we're not
Okay.
sending any more. We're not sending. We're keeping everybody grounded,
Uh-huh.
and we'll send. I'll send a vehicle up to pick you up in an SUV, and we'll bring you back to the base, and just
Okay.
leave the airplane parked there."
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to have about an hour wait, right? So my instructor says, "Go out and show me how you can land this airplane."
Oh,
I
so
said,
what
I
did you
said,
show to them?
he said, seriously, never been able to land the airplane before. I said, well, this is your chance without
Okay.
me bothering you. So I take off. I had no problem taking off. And
Uh-huh.
I flew around and I lined up with the runway and I couldn't even get it lined up with the runway. So I had to go around it again.
Hmm.
And the second time I came in, made a beautiful landing.
Oh,
Just picture perfect. And I
okay.
made three or four more picture perfect landings and takeoffs. So then he called me on the radio and said,
Uh,
Bring it in. Our vehicle's going to be here shortly." So I brought it
okay.
in and we tied the airplane down to make sure it wouldn't get damaged in a high wind.
Hmm.
And we rode back to the base in a vehicle instead of flying the airplane back.
Okay.
And from that time on, it was a contest again. Me versus the instructors.
You
See who
were
could land and
instructor.
see who could land in less distance. And
Uh-huh.
the idea was that there's white stripes on the runway, and of course, ideally, if you can time it just right, you can stop on on those white
Okay.
stripes,
Okay.
and then you have to add power to get to the first taxiway, where normally people would be just be pulling on the runway. That's what I did, got, and nobody could beat me. I could land the airplane like nobody else could, and it
Share
was
your
like one of
experience with the Vietnam War. Like in Vietnam War, how was your experience in a Taylor audience with that? Yeah.
well during the Vietnam War, I was no longer a pilot.
Oh,
Yeah. Uh, uh,
so share your journey from
T-37,
1967,
and
1967 till how long you used to be the pilot. Yeah.
well, I was a pilot for basically a year, but I had to finish that airplane, and then I had to fly the T-38, which is a supersonic airplane. And I've
Okay.
got more stories to tell about pilot training yet.
Oh, sure. We are excited. I mean, please continue.
Okay,
Yeah.
so so I'm flying the T-37, and I'm with a instructor pilot. We fly out to a different air base.
Oh, okay.
We flew down from Oklahoma down into Texas, down to Mexican border, basically, and
Okay.
landed the airplane and got refueled and had lunch and then got in the airplane to fly back. Well, it had gotten cloudy, so we were flying in the clouds on IFR instrument flight rules,
Okay.
and the radar controller out of Kansas City Center was following our airplane to keep us away from other airplanes naturally because
Okay.
we're flying about 20,000 feet, and most airlines would fly at 30,000 feet. So
Yeah.
and the T-38s would fly at above 30,000 feet. So there shouldn't be any, and it's too high for an ordinary propeller plane to fly. So we should be pretty much alone anyway. So we're flying back, and all of a sudden he screams at me
Oh,
and says, "My airplane." Well, what did I do wrong? I was doing perfectly. And he rolls the airplane over, one wing over, and we're flying upside down, and he's in a high speed dive.
oh, high speed dive.
Yeah. So I rolled the airplane right side. I'm stronger than he was. I was
Okay.
smaller than he was, but I was physically fit when I was in my 20s.
Okay.
So I overpowered him on the controls, rolled the airplane right side up, and he was screaming at me.
Okay.
And I kept trying to tell him we're going to dive. So I started. There's a thumb switch on the throttle that you flip it one way, and there's a big door that comes down from the bottom of the airplane called the speed brake, and that's
Oh,
supposed to help you slow down.
okay.
And it's electrically controlled, so you just flip a button, and it goes down. You flip it the other way, and it comes back up.
Oh,
So normally you would land an airplane with the speed brake down. That way, if you needed for some reason to take off again real quick, you could raise that speed brake and immediately cut down the amount of drag and take off a lot faster. So anyway, I put the speed brake down to slow down. He's putting it back, back up to speed up. I pull the power all the way back to idle, and he's trying to force his throttle all the
uh-huh.
way forward. I'm
Okay.
holding it back all the way to the back, and
Brilliant.
he finally quits. And then all of a sudden, we see the ground, and there's a saddleback mountain down in southwest Oklahoma, and we flew through the gap in this saddleback mountain about 10 feet off the top of the trees. And
Uh,
and at the time, I mentioned that normally it wouldn't fly over 350 in that airplane.
Oh,
We were at 450.
350.
We were at 450. I finally got him to look at the airspeed indicator
Okay.
and the altitude, and he said, "Your airplane," and let go of everything and let me fly the airplane.
Please
We took off.
tell our audience, what do you think for the instant decision making at the higher altitude, somewhere like in between 30,000, 40,000, all above the ground? So how do you
Well,
take instant decision? How the brain frame works? Please decode that.
I can't really tell you. I just my decisions in those kind of circumstances happen instantaneously almost. I
Yeah.
don't. I mean, I go through an entire thought process,
Okay.
and even when I was in high school, I was driving along one time. We're going out for lunch at school, and I was driving,
Oh,
and we're just driving on a city street,
share of audience, like when you were at a school, you were actually driving. Please keep, we will keep it super secret that do you have a license or not?
Oh yeah, yeah. I've got a license. I may be 16 or maybe 17 years old.
Okay.
Anyway, I saw a ball rolling in front of a parked car,
Okay.
and I figured if there's a ball rolling, there might be a kid. So I slammed on the brakes. Nobody saw
Uh-huh.
the ball. Nobody saw the kid until all of a sudden the kid. We were
Uh-huh.
complete stop, and the kid ran out right in front of us, about 4 feet in front of my bumper.
Okay.
And he said, and of course everybody else said, "How do you know to hit the brakes?" Well, instantaneous reaction.
Yeah,
I saw
instant.
that ball. I saw that ball rolling, and I figured there might be a kid right behind the ball, and I was right. Um,
So there is a myth. There is a myth about the pilots. Like, can you please correct us, like the new generations, tell our audience? There is an old myth that the reflexes of the pilots are supersonic, whereas comparatively to ordinary person. So please put a light, shade some light on that. Yeah. Sorry, sir, I cannot hear you.
hit my mic
Yes, sir.
button.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, if you're flying a fighter plane, you have to have instantaneous reactions. You
Okay.
don't have time to think about it. You
Uh-huh.
have to react. Um, and I've got more stories.
Uh,
So anyway, uh, flying the airplane, we got back to the main air base, and we had to do a VOR approach,
oh,
which is there's a radio station, and what you do is you have instruments on board the how far
okay.
you are from the radio station, and you
Uh-huh.
fly in a circle, gradually losing altitude until
Oh,
you get down to where you should be able to see the runway, right?
exactly.
So you're flying along at 20,000 feet, and then you get to close to
Uh-huh.
losing altitude, flying in a circle, and of course the radar on the ground is watching you. And so he's going to demonstrate it for me because I'd never done it before. So he's
Okay.
demonstrating it for me. Wouldn't you know, he did the same thing again. He
Uh,
goes diving. He dives for the ground.
okay.
And I overpower him on the controls,
Uh,
and we fly across the runway at a 90-degree angle to the with the way airplanes are going, and 90-degree angle to the runway, right over base housing, below the level of the water tower. It's like we were deliberately zooming to
so
Vegas.
here we go. Mr. Albert Clark, he was sharing his adventurous experience and thrilling flight wars he shared with us. For more stories, you need to subscribe his channel and to buy his book. And he has very exciting stories to tell over in his next podcast. So, yes, we are now signing off. Before we sign off, sir, do you have any special message for the people of all ages? Any specific thing?
Um, yeah, well, I saved that instructor's life twice in one flight.
Okay.
He was disoriented. He may
Oh,
have been coming down with a cold or something, and it can happen to you very easily if you don't watch the instruments in an airplane.
okay.
Uh, and he just would not watch the instruments. He felt like he was flying okay, but he was actually going way over the top airspeed for the airplane and diving for the ground at too low an altitude. And anyway, everything was wrong. Um,
So
but
you
anyway, I
corrected
pulled him
your
through it
own
twice.
trainer.
Yes, I pulled him through it twice. So
Okay.
anyway, uh, I had a very interesting life and a lot of experiences.
So yes, the your dying hard fans, they would love to know more in the next podcast. So please stick to this juicy, hopeful, adventurous stories by one and only amazing United States retired Lieutenant Colonel Sir Albert Clark. He is not only national treasure, but he is also a global sensation and the amazing person we have it. Okay. Thank you for your time, sir. Thank you.